Got it.
This meeting is being recorded.
There we go. All right, what's up, everyone? We're back with episode 7, Northwest Bodybuilding. We got a hell of a crew today. First off, we got Daniel Hughes, fresh off his pro win. Daniel, man, how you doing?
Doing really well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good, man. You sound great.
All right, excellent. Yeah, doing good.
Let's just go right into it, man. What was that show called, and where was it at? How'd it go, bro?
Yeah, so it's the Masters World Championships. It's a Masters Pro show, and it happens directly at the end of North American. So it's out there at the Sheraton in Pittsburgh, which is it's a pretty good venue. That's where Masters Nationals was at, and I think that's where they have North Americans pretty much every year. But they tack that pro show on at the end, so Masters competitors who win their pro card, they get a chance to jump right into a pro show. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of people out there. There was let's see, let me get this right. I think 19 in my class.
Nice.
So
that's sick. So did you do bodybuilding and classic, right?
I think Dan just dropped out.
Oh, okay. We'll probably get him back. He's over there in Montana. He probably got
There he is.
Okay, he's back. That. Cool. You back, Dan?
I'm back. Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
You guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gosh, my internet's just lagging right now. Anyways, while we're waiting for Dan to come back to us, I got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of questions, topics to talk about. How's your guys' week been going? Chris, Bickley.
No.
Oh, Dan, are you back, Dan?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Cool. Sounds good. So anyways, what I was asking was, you did classic and bodybuilding, correct?
I did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And what you won your class in bodybuilder and classic?
Classic. Yeah.
Nice. And there was 15 guys or something like that?
Yeah, there was I can't remember. I think it was 13. I want to say
Nice.
13 guys or 15, something like that.
You can see
No. I'm sorry. There was 19 guys. 19 guys. Because there was 3 16th place finishers. So that means 19.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys can see Instagram up right now?
No.
Okay, I got to press share screen. I want to show some pictures of Dan here because he looks incredible. How old are you, Dan?
43.
43. Nice. Okay, cool. Check out these legs at 43.
I know, dude. That, right? That blew me away.
That's fucking mad.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
much detail.
Yeah. Was this your best package, you think, Dan?
Yeah. That's my best combination of conditioning, and I still felt like I was flat to some degree, which has always been troublesome for me, but I was a little fuller than I've been before, and so I was pretty happy with it. Yeah. I'm doing San Antonio in 9 days, and I told my coach I want to try and come in a little fuller if possible. So
yeah,
we bumped up the calories this week, coming up starting on Saturday, and just ride a little bit higher caloric load going into the show. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
you're still working with Justin Harris, correct?
Yeah, working with Justin. Yeah, it's been a perfect kind of exactly what I was looking for. You know, he's not micromanaging me, so he lets me kind of take the lead on my workouts and kind of what I want to do for supplementation and all that. So he's just kind of guiding me on the diet part of it, which which is perfect for me. That's exactly what I wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like your hamstring from the side has come up a lot. It's dropping down there pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those deals where I see the pictures afterward, and I thought, I guess I looked okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how like we have to prove to ourselves every time we compete that we're like we're legit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
How close are you to the weight cap for classic?
I'm still 11 pounds away.
Really?
11
Wow.
pounds under. Yeah, I'm 6'2" and a quarter, so my weight cap's 249. I weigh in
nice.
at 238 is what I weighed in at.
Yeah, you're an avid hiker too, aren't you, Dan?
I love it. I do. Yeah, I hike as much as I can. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Do you like when you're prepping? I see you do some hikes when you're prepping. Do you like how do you account that into like a day of bodybuilding? Do you just count it as your cardio, eat more food? How do you do that?
Yeah. I just kind of count on the fact that I'm gonna have to eat some higher calorie food, but I just don't worry about it too much, to be honest. I love it so much that I don't really get too hung up on, is it going to deplete my glycogen? Am I going to lose leg size? Whatever.
Yeah.
I'd rather be out there hiking and enjoying the outdoors, and it's never really seemed to have a negative effect on my physique. So
yeah, I don't think it really would. I mean, what's the longest hike you would do? Like how many hours?
Well, this year the longest one was like I think maybe 6 or 8, but in the past, like last year, I did one that was over 12 hours hiking 20 miles.
Yeah. And you own this gym you train at, correct?
Yeah, Access Fitness. Yeah,
nice.
I'm the owner. Yeah.
You got some pretty killer pieces there, I noticed.
Yeah, we got some Arsenal stuff, hammer strength, dumbbells up to 150, a couple cable stations. Yeah.
It's got to be the best gym in Montana, right?
Yeah, you got to come over and visit, man. We'll get a workout in.
Definitely. That would be cool, man. Definitely. One of these days I will make it over there, do a hike too.
Yeah, it's really pretty over here. We got the mountains and stuff, and
yeah,
man. Yeah.
Dude, I love that shirt. The best shirt ever that they get. Idaho Cup,
dude.
right?
I love that shirt. Yeah, I wear it all the time.
Yeah, me too, bro. It's a great gym shirt.
It is, yeah.
So I love it. You got another show coming up in 9 days, you said?
Yeah, I'm doing San Antonio. It's the last qualifier for this year's Olympia, so I expect the competition to be pretty tight. There's a master's class. I'm doing 40 and over classic, and then I'm going to do the open classic, see how I stack up.
You going to bring the mustache back?
I thought about it, but yeah, I don't have it going on quite yet.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. I was super happy. How did it feel to get a pro win, man? Did you ever think that would happen?
Nah, I didn't. I honestly, last year, Masters Nationals, Rob, I got to tell you, I was backstage and I thought the competition would be stiffer because, I've been to the Emerald Cup and seen, multiple times, and the level of competition there outshone what was there at Masters Nationals by a long shot.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have much doubt I was going to win Masters Nationals, and I did. And to be honest, I went to this show and I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be. And again, I have to tell you, I was backstage looking around and I thought, not to toot my own horn, but I kind of thought I got this in the bag.
Yeah. And then that's where you got your pro card?
Masters Nationals, yeah. So July last year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I just want to kind of check in with everybody. Dan, that's freaking awesome. One more thing before we get to Chris here. You're going to do that show. You're going to try to go to the Masters Olympia? Is that the goal?
That's a great question. So this show does qualify me, this win, but that show is in Tokyo in August next year. And opportunity that not many people are going to have, or I may never get again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going to Tokyo and trying to figure out how to get around the city and converse with people and where to go to find groceries and all that stuff is kind of intimidating. So most of these guys that are going to be over there, they're going to have whole teams that are with them, handling all the food and handling all the travel arrangements. If I went, I'd have to do it all my own, and it's a little intimidating. So I don't really know yet. I haven't made a decision. I'm going to see how this coming show goes, and I'm also doing the Legions at the end of the month.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to see how that goes, and then if I do well at both of those, I'll consider going over there. But we're kind of going to be on a wait and see kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Dan,
awesome, Ben.
if you someone added to your team to go over to Japan, I've been over there multiple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Bodybuilding show. I love it over there, and honestly, I think a lot of the concerns you're having are not that hard.
Okay.
People over there are extremely helpful, and frankly, if you have a phone with a Google Translate, you just do the most part. People are very helpful and courteous and whatnot.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you're getting ready for the Northwest, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's like what, about 8 weeks or so?
It was 9 weeks Sunday, so yeah, going in this Sunday will be
nice. Okay, so you're already down to 225. I see, right?
Yeah, which is actually checked in at last year. So
yeah, so you're gonna be able to slide into the top of the heavies then.
Yeah,
right?
That's my goal, is just to kind of sit around like 220.
Yeah. So you know who Zach Mapes is?
Yeah, I know Zach. Is he competing?
Yeah, he's gonna do the Northwest too.
Ah, fuck yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So
No,
that's
Zach,
two good guys that are doing it. So that's good. He'll probably be a super though.
Yeah, well, he was right at the top at Emerald's Cup. That surprised me.
Yeah, this was a great post though, man. You kind of laid it all out there, man. You got your food, your split, your steps, how much cardio, your gear, and everything. Did you get some pretty good feedback from being open and honest like that?
Yeah, it was funny because I got a shit ton of. I've never actually had as many bodybuilders that shot me an EM and like made whatever statements or thoughts or whatever that they had. No, there was no real. More so just kind of questions about why and how I'm doing stuff. And coach myself, a lot of times, like, I don't pick things that are optimal. I pick things that I realistically stick to, or like if I say 95% consistent on one diet versus 85% consistent on another, even though the other one's more optimal, I'm just gonna stick with the one I can be consistent with.
Yeah. So you're nailing some hack squats here. I've never tried the band on the top. I got to try that sometime. Looks like a pretty killer. That Cybex hack is pretty heavy too.
It's heavy as shit.
It is, right?
I like bands like that because when you're going down, if you go down any faster, like you just drop yourself, you're gonna fucking hurt yourself on half the weight down, and then on the way up, a lot of guys will throw momentum out of the pocket, and that just kind of prevents that momentum from carrying you to the top. Like, you have to drive all the way to the top.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so you consider yourself like a pretty educated trainer. What kind of style what kind of style of training do you say you have? You could explain it in some words.
Well, I mean, I used to do more of like, I started off doing a lot of volume stuff, like art, like encyclopedia bodybuilding kind of volume, like 5 sets of 20 exercises kind of shit. And then I got really into like Dorian and Mike Messer and did very, very little amount of stats. I found it like a sweet spot at 2-3, but I don't consider myself to be a huge advocate of like, since it was when I quit my industry a few years ago, and I had to make training. The more I worked with people, the more I realized people don't understand. It's smarter to work with people to understand how to communicate with them, how to like, leverage with and so on. So,
you're kind of cutting out a lot, Chris. I'm not sure if it's your mic or your internet, but just
it might be my internet.
Just noted. But anyways, yeah. Keep it up, man. People are loving the honesty and the feedback, and You're a little bit north of Seattle, right? You're a little bit past Seattle.
I'm west of Seattle, just across the water.
Okay.
So.
Nice. There we go. Okay, cool. Really quick while I'm getting our next guy up here. I have a question from somebody that asked about IGF-1 experience. We'll start with Dan. We'll start with you. Do you have any experience with just IGF-1?
Yeah. Kind of late fall, early winter last year, I was using it. And to be honest, I couldn't really tell. I couldn't really tell that it did much, to be honest. I was putting it in my bicep prior to arm training, and then I was putting it in my teardrop and my quad prior to leg training.
Right.
And I'm doing an upper-lower split. So I'm doing upper body one day, the next day doing lower body. So I was doing those injections every day, basically.
Yeah.
And I split it up half in one bicep, half in the other. And, I don't know if it's the stuff I was using wasn't super potent or what, but I didn't really experience any sort of hypo, blood sugar levels dropping or anything like that, or I didn't notice any excessive pumps or anything. So I think that, at least for me, if there is any benefit to it, it's pretty small. I don't know. That's my experience. I have some left over from when I was using it, and I'm probably going to try it again just to see, but I don't know.
Yeah. Were you injecting it in those specific areas to try to bring them up?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't feel like it worked? Anything that you noticed? Asking for a friend.
Yeah. I think it did, but it's very small. Nothing too dramatic at all. Just very minor, if anything. Yeah.
What about you, Kat? Go ahead.
I would say, were the pumps like noticeably better or anything, or like better connection with the muscle?
In my experience, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say real quick, my experience with it, it's been a few years, man. It's probably been 5 years since I messed with IGF consistently. And I would do it pre-workout sometimes, post-workout. I did notice a little bit of the pump pre-workout, but it's probably just from the inflammation from the shot. I don't know how much of it's from the IGF-1. I don't know. I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard like if you're not getting Increlex, then it's kind of a waste. Yeah. And then I've also heard that the peptide IGF stuff works. You just got to run it consistently. I don't know. It's tough because after growth hormone and everything else, it's like you're just adding something on top. And if growth hormone already increases your IGF, I don't know how much more that would help. But what about you, Chris Cashman? What's your experience?
I've never used it, honestly. Just used for regular growth hormone.
When you used your regular GH, did you did you ever pin it in a specific body part, or do you always do sub-Q?
I just use sub-Q, honestly. Whatever's easiest and convenient at the time.
Was this your first show a couple years ago?
Yeah. No, that was actually my second show. That was the Vancouver there. That was a couple years ago, though. Yeah. That was the first show I did with Justin. So.
Oh, okay. So you've been working with Justin Harris for a while.
Yeah. This is my third year now.
Nice. Your glutes are absolutely ridiculous, man. I know I say it like every episode, but
I'll have to send one in our group chat. Like, it's but after getting tanned, it's fucking nuts.
So do you ever lose them? Like, have you ever gotten so fat that you lose your glutes?
Oh yeah. I definitely lost them last off season.
Okay.
When I got to 250, but
yeah.
Right now, I mean, last off season I lost them at like 250-ish, and I'm 260, 263 this morning. They're still in a little bit, so
yeah. So you are human. There is a limit. They'll go away.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I'll have like freaking fat, low back, but glutes will still be in. It's really odd.
Is this your most recent check-in here? 260?
Yeah, that was at the very that was 2 weeks ago, I think, a week or two ago, like first day of my season.
Yeah.
Nice.
He
Okay.
just come with his hernia stuff.
Yeah, I just got off of hernia surgery, so had to take.
Oh yes, you were just flat and chilling for a while then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was only out of the gym for 6 days, but
Yeah.
I mean, I was just doing light, pump work, no legs for like 10 days, and
Yeah.
I obviously had to take it easy for the first about 3 weeks, and then after that, I couldn't even tell I had surgery done after 2 weeks, honestly, but just try not to do anything stupid and have it, pop back open.
Right. Have you guys noticed that like the top Olympia guys have been like posting a lot of good fucking training footage lately?
They're all
Yep.
battling attention almost.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, isn't it?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Like
nuts.
yeah, like I don't know what it was Derek and Andrew posted like the T-bar rows, and then everyone else posted the T-bar rows, and then Hottie
Yeah.
had to, and then I saw this one the other day and I was like, oh, I gotta show this savage.
Dude, he's such a freak.
I know. Hopefully it loads here in a second. But did you guys see this?
I didn't. This is the first time.
We need to get someone that's on this podcast under like 5'10", 5'11", because I'm watching this and I was like, man, I wish I had short legs sometimes.
Dude, I gotta try this.
Yeah.
I was gonna try this on leg day, but then I forgot.
The same set.
Did you see what he just did to that guy? He gave one guy a high five and then did the little hair flip to the other guy. But yeah, like this dude will just do drop sets with squats. It's so cool. It's hard not to root for Hottie.
Yeah.
I even seen like Samson was doing some squats with super heavy weight. And,
Bro, I saw those pause squats. Those are good.
Yeah. But he goes all the way down to one plate, and he probably does about like fucking 30 reps. Starts at 6 plates, bangs out like 5 or 6, and just keeps going. Yeah.
I got a random question for you guys, but what have you guys ever done like an AMRAP of like 225 or 315, or something that you're gonna get a shit ton of reps on? Squatting wise specifically.
Oh, on squat, I used to like battle 405 like every week. It was like my thing because the gym I trained at had like no leg equipment. So I think the most I got it was like 16 times.
Yeah.
But I think early in my career, me and my buddy were doing 3x20s with 315. That was fucking brutal. I don't even know if I could do that right now. What about you guys?
I just remember.
I'll go for it.
I was just gonna say, I just remember I had I'm trying to think of his name, 212 guy that worked with Blue Taylor, a little black guy, but I remember he posted he was like 315 for like an obscene amount of reps. I think he did like 38 reps. So he just did like a public challenge of people recording their sets, and I was like, I can fucking do this. Like, and I think I got like 26 or 27 reps, but I was like, fucking yeah, I was just destroyed for the rest. I couldn't even finish the rest of my workout. Like,
yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
it looks like Hottie's over in Honey's gym training, so he's obviously here.
Yeah, I think his stuff with the clearance to go overseas. I think what Honey did incorporate his versus like.
You're cutting out again. But did anybody hear if Beirut's got cleared to come over for the Olympia or not?
I haven't heard.
Oh.
Yeah. It is weird that one can do it and the other one can't, but you know what pisses me off about like the internet is like you see like guys like Nick Trigili or like these fucking douchebags. They'll like take this video and they'll be like, "You see how fucking don't emulate this guy's form? Like it's so shitty." And like it's like, no, it's fucking not, dude. Like Hottie's form is a little bit loose, but there's nothing shitty about that.
Nick only does that for publicity.
I know.
He's only doing it to raise hackles, man.
I know. But you're right. You're right. And he's got me, right? You got me.
He got you. There's no such thing as bad publicity, man. That's why he does it.
True. Yeah. But there's other people that'll do that too. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They're just doing it to create fucking conversation and controversy, right?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. So here, let me pull up some of these questions here. I had them on my phone. Oh yeah, here we go. I had a really good question that somebody DM'd me the other day, and they said, should you talk to judges? Is it worth it to ask the judges after a show? And I'll let you guys go. I gave them a quick answer, but I'll just say something real quick. I told them it matters. Were you like first through third, or were you like 12th? Because if you're first through third, they're probably going to remember and might give you a pretty good fucking analogy. But if you were 12th, they're just going to tell you something fucking random. Like, yeah, just get more condition or some random shit. Because you can't remember that many bodies. What do you guys think?
Well, I was a judge at the NPC regional level. And I can tell you that after the show, when people would line up, I just had 2 or 3 talking points that applied to everybody, because you can't remember everybody on stage, man. So there's 2 or 3 things that are always going to apply to everybody. And really, if you're a seasoned competitor, you know what you got to work on. So the judges are just going to give you some canned answer most of the time. The only time it might do you some good, and this is my opinion, is if you can build some sort of a rapport with the judges. And then if they see you consistently on stage improving, then they're going to recognize you, and then they're going to pay a little more attention to you. That's my opinion. But, I've never asked for feedback because I know what I got to work on.
That's a good point. What do you think, Cashman?
Yeah. I agree with Dan there, because if you know what you need to work on, and only you and your coach really know what went into that prep and if something went wrong. So if the judge is telling you, oh, you need to be leaner, but maybe you were shredded or just flat, so maybe it was just a peaking issue, something like that. I feel like that's something that you should talk with your coach rather than the judges, because your coach knows exactly what happens, what you look like, and if you guys, nailed it or not. And the judges, like Dan was saying, they may not even remember you. So yeah, so it might just be some generic answer,
Yeah. What do you think, Chris? Same thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm with Dan. I've done a bunch of judging, and I think the people that ask for input the most are people that are at the beginning of their bodybuilding career, typically, and the people that, like you were saying about rapport with the judge. If you're at the level where you're fighting for 1 or 2 and trying to decide if you're going to go to nationals, I mean, you're fighting for 1 or 2 at Emerald Cup, so you may actually do something at the national level. Then feedback is probably good. But if you were 3rd place at Vancouver, or one of the lower tier shows where you still have to move to a bigger show locally, then more than likely you're probably going to need more tissue, and you're probably going to have to get better in condition, and you can't show off the muscle without being in better condition. So like Dan said, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Man, Derek's looking absolutely mind-blowing. Hottie, I've been stern on my prediction with Hottie winning, but God, every time I see Derek's pictures, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There was some account on Instagram where they had recent photos of Derek and Hottie from the back. They were doing lat spread and maybe rear double bicep. And I'm going to tell you, Derek, he's way more bubbly than Hottie is in the back. I mean, he's made huge improvements in this year. And I don't know if Hottie's made the same improvements.
It's so hard not to root for Derek. Look at him. He's got his beautiful little family and his fucking cute wife. And
I do want to go to that gym for that lighting alone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is some
MI40.
sick lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Ben doesn't own it anymore, but his wife does. But not that that matters. But there's still a shit ton of pros that go there. It's in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got another
Ah,
good
yeah,
question. Is the novice class a joke? How about CT? You go first.
I think the way, especially with the way that they've been doing it, yeah. I think that you should do novice your very first show, and I don't think you should be able to do novice any others. I know that they say like winning a class or whatever, but frankly, I think it should only be if you've been in one show and that's it. But they're just collecting funds if you get someone to do novice 5 times because it sucks. So,
That's true. What do you think, Dan?
Well, at the local level, they have true novice, and then they have novice, and I don't think you need both of them. I agree with Chris. I think true novice, and then it should be open.
Yep.
And true novice is for first-time competitors, and then you move to the open. But they have true novice, then they have novice, which is for people who haven't placed in like the top 5 or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. A promoter gets money for every class that a competitor enters. So it's just a way for him to make more money.
Oh, yeah.
I will say or interject one thing. I think one of the best things that novice is for, if you come into a show and you look pretty damn good as like from a judging perspective, and you step into true novice, first show ever, and then you go into the open class and you're like there, all the judges are going to give you way more credit.
Yeah.
So I never did a novice class just because I don't know. It just was like, it just didn't seem intriguing to me. I was like, I want to go up against the best, and I get it. It's all about more money and more entries, but I don't think there should be a novice class at all. That's just my personal opinion. I just think we have too much stuff like that nowadays. Too many classes. Novice, just another class for the family to sit through. These fucking shows are what, like 4 or 5 hours now. I personally think they should split it up and do like bodybuilding, women's physique, and maybe one other class, and then a completely other day or time to do the rest. Because these shows are getting so long. You ask your family, your wife, your kids to come. You might have kids. You ask them to sit there through 4 hours of fucking everyone doing 6 different classes. And I know I'm exaggerating, but and then another thing too is like there's this dude that trains down at O'Malley's, and he went and did the Emerald Cup. And he did novice, and of course, like he got like fucking second in novice, and then he got like I don't know, he got absolutely last in open. But he, then he goes around telling everybody he got second at the Emerald Cup, and you get a lot of that stuff. And I know I shouldn't give a shit about that, but like, it just muddies up shit that doesn't need to be muddied up, and it adds more time that doesn't need to be added. In my opinion, I'd say get the fuck rid of it, but they'll never do that because it's all about the money. Little rant there, but I got some pretty good I got a couple more good questions. We'll go. Oh, this is a good one. Arnold versus Sebum with modern drugs, modern times. So just take Arnold, put them both at 22 years old, and fucking give them 3 years. Who wins?
Damn.
I don't care who goes first.
I'll go. Here's the thing. Arnold and them, if he was to have the training intelligence that we have now, like all the information and like focus on legs specifically,
right?
I think Arnold would have been a different monster had he emphasized his legs more like we do now, and conditioning was more of a thing. I think if you would have had all the information that Sebum started with at 21, things would have been very different. Because really, you think of someone that had like no real thing to look at with the exception of asking other competitors information versus now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Arnold had a superior frame compared to Sebum. I think that had Arnold had the same access to the information and the knowledge that we have for nutrition and supplementation, that he would be superior to CBum. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, it's obviously it's really hard to tell, but yeah, just because I agree that Arnold probably better. I mean, he's just so wide. It's just his frame's quite a bit bigger, and if he brought some conditioning, obviously he'd be a lot bigger than he was too. So, yeah, and I think he has like a lot more standout body parts that would carry him a lot further and open too, versus CBum.
Yep.
Like imagine how freaky his freaking biceps would be, how much freakier his chest would be, with the added size. And then if he just was able to even out a little bit by getting some leg size with some of our modern equipment, yeah, I think it'd be pretty freaky.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. I told the person that asked me the other day the same thing. I said, dude, I look at the way Arnold looked back in the day with they were literally taking D-ball and DECA and tests like pre-contest, like maybe some Winstrol, like, yeah. So modern drugs, modern training, he would have trained his legs more, just like you said. Yeah, and those freaky body parts would have been even more freaky with him running trend. And yeah, like Dan, you brought up a crazy good point. I didn't even think about that aspect. You give Arnold, the access to Instagram and all the self-promoting that we have access to nowadays. Oh my God. I think it's a different level. You know what's kind of crazy about CBum is when I was looking at this picture, I know my legs do this a lot. I don't know about you, Dan, but like sometimes his legs look super flat and then sometimes they just look crazy good. Does that happen to you guys sometimes too?
Yeah.
I think it happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Especially taller guys.
Especially tall. Yeah. Absolutely.
You hit that. I know with me, if I hit that right angle, my legs look crazy, and I've hit that wrong angle, I'm like, fuck, they look skinny, like a basketball. Yeah, but yeah, CBum's a legend. I don't know if anybody will fill his what he's done in the sport as far as classic. Did anybody see his announcement or whatever that was supposed to happen today? What that was all about?
Is he gonna retire? Is that the deal?
I don't know. I just saw on Instagram that on his story that he said he was going to do an announcement later today. I just didn't know if one of you guys had saw it or not.
I hadn't. No.
Yeah.
I haven't. No.
Yeah. So, do you guys? I guess this is my own personal complaint here, but do you guys ever get clients that are like so insistent on like using the macro tracking apps? And I run into it where like you'll send a diet to a client and they're like, I put this all in my blah, blah, blah app and like the macros are slightly off. And then you try to explain to them like, yeah, obviously that's because there's tons of different brands of foods and like those measurements aren't like precise. What I'm giving you is a precise measurement of what that is to the gram. So just fucking follow it. And sometimes you get these fucking clients that they have to do their app. And anyways, long story short, do you guys ever get stuff like that?
Dude, I don't have the patience to be a trainer. People ask me and I'm like, nope, I don't train.
That's the good thing about being a gym owner. You can just collect fucking, membership fees, right?
I come in and work out, shoot the shit with a few people, and then I leave.
That sounds fucking amazing. That's a bodybuilder's lifestyle right there.
Yeah. I have a job outside the gym that actually supports the majority of the household expenses. Yeah.
What's that job outside of the gym again?
I'm a structural engineer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll pay good.
Yeah, it pays okay.
Yeah. What about you, CT? You ever get like clients that are just kind of level-headed about apps and different things like that when you're giving them programming?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, lifestyle clients. I'm super lax with lifestyle clients. But if I can get to do everything else,
hey, Chris, hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're good now. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
I'm super lax with like what I'm feeding clients and stuff, especially lifestyle. When it comes to competitive clients, like I'm like, just follow the plan. Like if there's digestive issues or something like that, but even like sauces, like people using the same sauces, like people looking too far into, like if you use the same sauce over and over again, as long as it's not sugar, like I don't care if you feel like you need to remove 25 grams of rice to use the thing, whatever. But I think it's just overthinking. If you're using the same diet, it's pretty self-explanatory, the results. So
Yeah. All right. I got a question. As far as training, I'll go to the next one. That's kind of long. How long?
Rob,
what? Yes.
Can I interject? I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
A couple episodes ago, you guys were discussing injection and rotating sites and whatnot. What gauge needles do you prefer for injection? I'm gonna say I've used 23 for years, and I just recently switched to 25, and I think it's making a big difference.
Yeah, I have always used
positive
25 just because it's smaller. I'll draw with 22 and then shoot with 25.
Yeah.
I usually go 27. I'm a bitch. I'm just patient, and it takes longer, but I don't feel shit. So,
do you feel like you get less propensity for like inflammation and knots and stuff by doing that?
Yes.
I wouldn't know otherwise because it's all I've used, honestly. So,
gotcha. Okay.
But I because of the volume, and just I don't know. I think I'm gonna give 25s a shot, just pun intended, just to speed things up a bit because it is kind of a pain in the ass just sitting there. It takes a long time to push that plunger down.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet, dude.
I used 21s for a long time, like when I was back working with
wow.
And because no one said any different, so I used 21s, and then as soon as I went to 27s and 25s, I was like, oh shit, the area doesn't stay inflamed for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got another one. We were actually talking about insulin a little bit on our thread, our message board, and if anybody's using insulin, what kind and how. I'll go first. I just started growth hormone like 2 weeks ago. So I just started insulin back in this week. I have a bunch of Pedra from a few years ago when I was working with Boston Lloyd. He wanted me to get a Pedra. So I have that. And I have Humalog too, but I have way more Pedra to use and it's already outdated. So I'm working on that. Which I think shit's completely fine if it's outdated. I just do 8 to 10 IUs post-workout with about 140 grams of carbs and 60 grams of protein. Just post-workout. And then I was going to probably add Atlantis eventually here in maybe like a month when the calories start going up. I was like 272 this morning when I woke up. So we'll see what happens with that. What about you, Chris? I know we talked about it earlier.
Which Chris?
I think me and you were messaging Cashman, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll right now I have 2 high days a week, and just using Novo and R. That's all I've used. Just cheap Walmart brand, $24.88 for a vial. Just out of convenience, honestly, and it's what I've used and what I'm comfortable with. But right now I'm taking on those high days, so taking 6 IUs with meals 1, 3, and 5, and then all the meals that day. It's 150 grams of carbs with each meal, except my pre and post workout. Those are 200 grams of carbs with a 50 grams of carbs and an intershake. So
nice. Okay. Chris, have you used insulin before, Chris? I know you have, probably guaranteed. Did I lose him?
I think Bickley's gone.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's gone.
Go ahead, Dan. You go next.
Well, yeah, I haven't been using it here since I've been on contest prep for the last 12 weeks or 16 weeks or so. Even on high days, on high days I use some fast acting at like every other meal. Got the same coach, so we're following kind of the same protocol.
Mhm.
But on the off season, I was kind of running a little bit high on my blood glucose. So I was doing 20 IU of Atlantis every morning, and I did that most of the off season this past year. That seemed to work pretty good. Keeps my blood glucose like manageable, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that help with your? Did you find that helped with your appetite?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
When you guys run your GH, this is a question that I was going to ask you guys that came to my head. What's your timing? Do you like to run 2 doses throughout the day or just one? Dan?
Yeah. For the longest time, I would just do 1 dose in the morning, but recently, and when I say recently, I mean like just the last couple of weeks, I decided to switch it up. I've been doing 5 IUs in the morning, and then I do another 5 in before bed.
Okay, yeah, split up
I
twice.
split it up twice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually how I do it. I'll do post workout and then before bed.
Yeah, I mean, so usually depends on how much I'm running. Obviously, I'll change it a bit, but right now I'm running more. For the off season, I'm running 10. I just bumped up to 10 units, so I'm trying to get it in every 8 hours. So fast in the morning before I do cardio or my steps, I do 3 IUs, and then I do 3 IUs at around noon, and then 4 IUs before bed.
Okay. You're diligent.
It's a lot, but I'm really OCD.
Yeah.
Is that 10 total or?
Yeah, 10 total, 3, 3, and 4.
Yeah. Ideally, that's kind of my sweet spot. I'm only running 5 right now, but once I get a few more kids, I'm probably going to bump it up there too. That's a pretty good sweet spot. I think as long as you're balancing your insulin and you're not getting too fat, it's a sweet spot to be. Definitely. Just taking a look at Big Stu's Instagram here. There was a training video. Yeah, speaking of his side chest is crazy good. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
It looks like he switched over to good old East Side Gym. Do you know that area up there, Chris Cashman?
No, I haven't been there.
Okay. Because he was training at the Hop.
Yeah, Hop Gym.
Oh yeah.
It's a little different. It's got pretty decent equipment, but
yeah,
it's not super hardcore. I don't want to say anything bad about them. They're good
environment that he wants.
Right, there you go. Yeah. No, they're cool people. They've been cool to me. They're nice to me and stuff. But
yeah,
East Side's a little grungier. The owner's super cool. He's an old school bodybuilder himself, and it's all like old hammer strength and fucking just basic shit. So
yeah, I mean, you can't buy an atmosphere. You buy all the nicest gym equipment, have all nice, good staff, but you still can't buy that atmosphere. If you're looking for one that's just a little more hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, and that place has it too, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you train anywhere else besides Tacoma Barbell Club?
No, right now that's it. There's really no great gyms around here. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to get another membership or two just to check out some other gyms and just kind of network with other people that are in the sport. But it's pretty tough to get out here.
Yeah. Do you ever heard of Pit Beast, that gym?
Yeah, that's in Tacoma too, right? I mean, I've been there before. Yeah,
that's my buddy Seth owns it. He's a pro. I haven't been to his new one, but I used to train at his old one sometimes.
He does like MMA and stuff out of there, right?
No, that's his wife. His wife is a pro. She went pro in women's physique. Had a killer physique, and then she transitioned to MMA or boxing, and she does that now. But I think Seth just
Okay.
does it. Seth just does it for cardio, but he's like a classic pro.
Okay. Well, but like the gym has like both. It has like a weightlifting, and then they also have like
Yes,
fighting and
It
shit
does.
out there.
I think it has a ring in the middle of it.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I was there. I've gone there a couple times. It's actually a pretty sweet gym. That's some nice equipment.
Dude, his arms are close to his waist size, right?
Wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's such a good dude too. Justin's such a nice guy.
He needs to get his genetics tested because he does not. Those are not white guy arms, man. Like he's so
I know.
bubbly.
Sometimes you just get those random genetic anomalies, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember because I mean he's from the Northwest, obviously, and like he's from Southern Oregon. And I remember he did, right here, E Cup 2019, I think it was. Let's see. Yeah, 2019, first show. And I remember seeing these pictures pop up, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, he looks, you look at this, and you're like, his back's small, his calves are crazy. And then when he turns around, his arms are crazy.
Look at his arms still.
I know. But I could just tell, like, my first glance at him, I wish the other front double of that same one was up. I was like, this dude's genetics are mind-blowing. Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And then, of course, 4 or 5 years later, he's at the Olympia. Chilling. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of, either of you guys think of another, like, another pro white guy that's as bubbly, like has that bubbly look at him, other than like, what, Lee Priest?
Justin Compton.
In Compton. Those are the only two I can think of.
I'd say Rizzo with his arms, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Rizzo.
There has been throughout the years. They're just not as common.
Yeah, there's usually just hard and dry.
Yeah. I like to I train a lot like Justin when it comes to leg training, especially.
Yeah.
Like going super deep and shit and controlling the eccentric.
Yeah, I love watching your leg workouts, man. That's super motivating.
Yeah. Gotta love that Cybex squat press there.
That does look nice.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. I remember who I was gonna show some love to. So yeah, you guys, as far as like the top dogs, as far as Justin Shire and Ryan and Stu, they all train slightly different, but have their own kind of style. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that anybody who's kind of seasoned and been doing this a while, they settle into what works best for them. And I think they kind of arrive at it after some trial and error. If you talk to anybody, I mean, Rob, you, me included, we've tried probably all the different types of training styles, and we kind of settled on what we think works best for us. So,
Oh yeah.
And there's a progression, and I think that happens to these guys too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we were talking about
Anthony.
Yeah, we were talking about volume earlier, and one of the things that I think why a lot of guys go to a little bit lower volume as they get older is because you just become more efficient at your sets. Because like a set that I would do now on, say, leg press is going to be so much more efficient than I was like 10 years ago. So I might have done four working sets 10 years ago, but I only do 2 now. I do 2 working sets on everything. A couple warm-up sets, 2 to 3 warm-ups, and 2 all-out sets, and I'm on to the next thing.
Totally.
I still like to train with volume, but I gotta, you know what I mean? But yeah, I want to show some love to Anthony. Him and his wife both competed, I think, twice this year.
Anthony looked really good at his show in Texas there. Yeah,
he did the Florida show and the Texas show, and he got first call out in the second show, I believe. It doesn't look like he has a lot of the show pictures up, but yeah, he's got a crazy good physique. He lives over in Idaho, I believe, right, Dan?
Yeah, like Boise or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
right, Boise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it was the Florida show where he got top 5, maybe like 3rd or something.
Yeah,
he's definitely
excellent.
he's definitely the best 212 guy we got around here that I can think of.
Yeah.
And then his wife does figure, I think. Yeah.
They both competed together, didn't they? At the
I
same
believe
shows.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
There's not too many pros that are couples like that. It's probably a tough thing to balance, I'd imagine.
Well, they don't have any kids, I don't think. So, they're at a season in life where they can kind of do that. But shoot, you throw kids in the mix and things get complicated real quick.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
Dan, if you don't mind, I have some questions about like kind of this prep a little bit.
Yeah.
Not at
all.
Yeah, just like, so you said that you increased your food here for going to the next show to kind of fill out a little bit, come out a little fuller. What, like, how much did it increase it? And what was it before, and what is it now? What does that look like?
Well, I haven't got to the new higher calorie, but basically, how Justin works. He's got low, medium, and high days. So the high day remained the same, but the low and medium day came up substantially with the overall caloric load. Protein remained the same. I think low days went from 25. No, sorry. Low days went from 35 to 50 grams of carbs per 6 meals, and fats up to 17 had added from 10. And then medium days, 100 grams of carbs before and after, and I think 60 grams meal 1, and then 50, 2, 3, and 4, and then added fats 0 on the final 2 on the before and after workout. I think it's probably like a 30 to 40% overall increase in calories. Okay. What happened is I loaded on 2,000 grams of carbs spread over 3 days, but I was still flat. And the day before the show, I actually departed from Justin's plan and was just pounding the food. And I was just staying flat. What I felt was flat. Mm-hmm. So I told Justin, I said, I got to tell you, I actually departed from the plan a little bit, and I pushed the load harder than you had lined out. And he's like, that's okay. Just let me know next time. And I was like, cool. So this time I said, I want to try and push the load up a little bit harder. And he said, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. So we bumped up the calories overall. But I did rebound like harder than I anticipated or would have wanted after this particular show. I'm still holding more water and glycogen than I would like at this time. So I'm doing some like low days from a couple weeks ago diet plan, which are pretty restrictive. I think like 10 grams of carbs per meal and like 7 grams of added fat. Trying to get my body back to kind of a depleted state so that I can load better coming up. But I want to try and start that on Saturday. I'm supposed to do a high day actually on Saturday. And then he's got the stand. I'm sure it's the same for you, or pretty close to the same for you for the lead up to the show. But yeah, we'll see.
Hey, do you guys, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna what was I gonna say? So like with that load, so when did you have? Oh, you don't even have. Never mind. You don't struggle to make weight. I was gonna say like you have to worry about making weight with all that loading, but you said you're 11 pounds under earlier, so yeah, that's nice that you're able to load early. You don't have to worry about making weight and then loading last minute. So
yep.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah, it was crazy thing is I was just famished the day before the show. He had me on flank steak and almond butter and rice cakes, and I was like having 2 extra rice cakes with almond butter at every meal, and like having extra meals, and I was still like starving. So it was crazy.
Yeah, like your metabolism just cranked up right at the end.
Yeah, it seems to happen to me every time I cut water. It's like I don't know what it is, but man, I just start my body just starts wanting lots of food when I start to taper the water, and it's like that's been typical for me, and it happened again this time. So we'll see if a little bit heavier on the front load kind of solves it. Hopefully, it does.
Yeah. So this is Zach. He's going to be doing. Oh, that's his son. Okay. Yeah, his son's a baller, I'm sure. But he's going to be doing the Northwest against CT. So he's got a pretty killer physique. He got second at the Emerald Cup. Was that last year or the year before? Who won it last year?
Well, Neil won
Ryan
last
did.
year.
Yeah, Ryan did. The year before last year, Zach got second in the overall. He's going to be even bigger now, but he's incredibly strong too. He didn't have a lot of bodybuilder stuff posted. He's a family man, as you can see. But yeah, him and CT will have a nice little battle. I know CT's looking bigger and better than ever.
Hey, Rob, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Oh, what up, man?
What up, dude?
Hell yeah. It's good to have you on, man.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Can you see me?
If you press like the share video screen, I think.
Okay.
I can't see it.
Hey, since you got Cody on, I gotta get a meal in me and train so I can get home.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, it's good to talk to you, Dan. Congratulations on your win, bro.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Yeah, same. Likewise.
Take it easy, brother. Go have a good workout.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Can you see me now, Rob?
No, not yet. If there should be a
Let's see.
a button on the bottom left where it says like start video and mute, and start video, something like that. Are you doing cardio right now, Chris?
This isn't cardio because I'm walking. This is steps. I don't know what it's a pet peeve of mine. People walking outside.
Well, hey, Cody.
If you're not moving, it ain't cardio.
Yeah. Okay. We can hear you. It doesn't matter if we can't see it. We can still hear you. How's training been going, bro?
Training's going good. I've been just right now, just kind of doing a little health phase, if you want to call it that, I guess. And we're doing a little mini cut. Pretty lean right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we got about 2 more weeks, and then I'm going to push again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are you still looking at doing E-Cup?
Yeah, that's a good possibility down the road.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, right now we're going to focus on nationals for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the kind of game plan right now. We're going to keep building until that time.
Yeah. I'm going to bring your page up here. So where do you live again, Cody?
I live in Lewiston, Idaho.
Lewis, okay. I didn't know you. Okay, I didn't know you were that close. You confused me because you did a couple shows out of state last year, a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Lewis,
kind of bounce around with the shows.
Oh, we were just talking about Anthony. You guys can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Was this Anthony's recent show, right?
Yeah, that was just
Man,
a while back.
he fucking nailed it there.
Dude, I know. He looked incredible.
We were right literally 5 minutes before you just got on. We had his page up, but he didn't really have any good pics of the show. That's an incredible ab and thigh right there.
Dude, he looks awesome. It's crazy how much that guy can just transform. Great physique. Guy works hard.
Yeah.
He's just incredible dude, and I like him a lot.
Yep. Are these recent pictures of you or?
Yeah, the ones at top are.
Yeah.
Scroll up. Yeah, so like you can see the one on the top right. That's the most recent. Then the I've got those.
Okay. Right there, top right.
You see the side by side where it's got three photos together. Yeah, that's like pretty recent.
Yeah, dude, you're looking thick, bro. How much you weigh right now?
Right now, I'm only like 225, 226.
Okay.
So
Hey Chris, if you didn't know, me and Cody competed against each other at the Emerald Cup.
Oh shit! Okay.
He won the heavies and then I won the supers and then I beat him in the overalls, luckily.
That's it.
But he's coming for revenge, man. I can tell he's fucking training his ass off and shit.
trying.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, bro. He's go ahead, Cody. What?
Just trying to get a little better. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. He's got killer legs, big ass legs. Do you train at the same gym as Anthony, or is he like pretty far from you?
He's in Boise.
Oh, okay, and you're in Lewiston.
Yeah. So I'll go down there. I've been down there and stayed down there once, twice, but we went to Salt Lake here a while back to watch Chelsea Rogers and shit. Lowe and Anthony was down there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we all kind of hung out. But
Is this the gym you train at right here?
that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
They got
kind of, it's all the gyms I'm around are pretty small. Kind of that right there is like a dungeon gym.
Yeah.
But
At least they got a decent hack though, right?
yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
They've got a few good leg machines there.
Does that say Polar on the side? I've never seen a Polar, that brand.
I've never seen one like that one either, actually.
I love when you see like random just gems like that. Some dude made it, or it's some small brand.
Yeah, there's that gym right there. All the equipment's probably built 70s and 80s, I think. But they got some stuff in there. It's all old school.
Yeah. What do you do for work again?
I do HVAC.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that works pretty well with bodybuilding, you think?
Probably not.
Right.
Probably not.
I know. It's tough to find a job that fits with bodybuilding like perfectly,
Yeah. Well, you just get my cardio in, so there you go. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have to worry about dropping water, so
And you're working with Justin Wyatt, right?
yeah.
Yeah. You know who that is, Chris?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
nasty ass legs.
He's got glutes year round like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guy's a freak. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you're focused on nationals next year?
yeah, 2025.
Okay.
So
So
we're gonna push here.
Go ahead.
We're gonna push here. He wants to get me over 275, but it's funny because there's a show in like 5 weeks, and I could do a show in 3 weeks right now.
Yeah.
He got me pretty lean. He goes, well, let's get your appetite, your metabolism in check. So, and we're just kind of doing the health phase, and really we're not, it's going pretty mellow, everything's, but I've gotten pretty lean. So I messaged him the other day. I said, what do you think about me jumping this show? And he goes, absolutely not. I'm like, okay. So,
Yeah, sometimes the coaches got to save us from ourselves,
Yeah. So that's true. He goes, we need to push, so we're going to push up to over 270, and then we'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? Next year.
Yeah. So that would, if you did E-Cup, that would give you a little break, and then you could ramp back up for nationals. Is that how you're planning it?
Well, honestly, I'm just going to kind of play it whatever Justin wants. At this point. He thinks going to get me the pro card. That's what we're going to do.
Right. Yeah. E-Cup's always at a tough time of year.
Yeah. If it's not going to help me, if it's going to be like so far out from a national show, then I won't do it, but I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me too.
I've lost that show twice in a row. I lost to Stuart Sutherland, and then the year after that, I lost it to you. So I've come in second both times, and I'm like, crap, Like,
yeah.
It's crappy. I get all the monsters come in when I come in.
I know. Isn't that funny? Like how shows can be really up and down sometimes. I mean, E-Cup's always pretty tough.
E-Cup's fucking tough.
It's a tough show.
There's always at least 3 or 4 really good bodybuilders of that show spread out.
Yeah.
Like they'll be on average, there's probably 3 dudes that are going to go do a national show that year.
Yeah.
Spread out the different classes and whatnot. But
Yeah, some good athletes.
yeah.
Chris,
Go ahead.
where are you from, Chris?
So right now I'm just in Tacoma. I've been in Washington my whole life. Grew up in Covington, and then just bought a house out here in Tacoma
Oh, nice.
2 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was your last show?
Oh shit. It was in April 6th, I believe. Early this year was the Vancouver Open, and I won heavyweights, and I won my class for classic, but just lost the overall. Yeah, and then I just had to cut too much weight to make classic, so I was just fucking flat and stringy. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be gonna compete as a super heavy later next year. Just started my off season. This is the second week.
How tall are you?
6 foot, exactly 6 foot.
6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a lot of weight put on. Only like 263 this morning. So
260. Yeah.
but I'm not fat, not fat yet. So
Yeah. Like here just a couple months ago, I was 265.
but
And, I was feeling pretty good. And then
yeah, how tall are you?
5'10".
Shit, yeah, that's big.
There's a difference between being 265 shredded and 265.
Yeah.
And so, if honestly, what I would love to do, my goal is to come in stage ready, polished to the bone. Because you can ask Rob, I always come in like super grainy.
Mm-hmm.
So if I come in at 220, I'd be super stoked. 215, happy, man. That's a good gain for me.
What was your last stage weight?
My last stage weight, which sucked me down really hard, I think I was like 203.
Oh yeah, 250, even 215 would be fucking.
Oh yeah,
that's a good gain. Especially considering if you're same conditioning and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, the Phoenix Pro show, the one I did in August.
So with you get in shape pretty easy. You have to push down pretty hard.
Well, no, I don't have to. Like, we just kept pushing me, and then we started filling me out. Honestly, I think I look better 3 weeks after the show.
Yeah.
Most, you know what I mean? Who's to say? But that's in my, looking at photos and me thinking that. But that's why I got to do this for me,
Yeah.
How much do you think what was your weight at that time at like 3 weeks post show?
Oh, I was sitting like God, that was probably 3 weeks later. I was probably like 215.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just looked fuller to me. Looked great. You know what I mean? And when I was down doing my show, I looked pretty flat. I did the Phoenix Pro, but that, you know what I mean? It's not about that. It's about, okay, what can I do to be better for the following year? Because I want a smaller show doesn't mean nothing,
Yeah. And especially if like that look could have been better, it doesn't matter if you win, if you're still wasn't the look you're looking for,
Absolutely. I was just come in a little fuller, it was a learning curve because we did a lot of this first time I ever dieted like that, and it was just we really just sucked me down really, really hard, and I think I could have reverse dieted into the show and been better off. What do you weighing?
What's that?
What's Rob, what are you weighing?
Right now I just weighed 272 this morning. Yeah. I just figured out how to fucking get us all on the same screen like 2 minutes ago, but that's why I was celebrating a second ago. Hey, I got a good question for you guys. We'll do like 2 questions real quick, and then we'll end it because we're coming on 2 hours right now. But first off, how old are you? And then how long do you plan on competing? When do you see yourself stepping away from the sport? How about Cody? You go first.
I'll be 34 here in about a week, and I'll always bodybuild the rest of my life, lift weights, and I'll still keep doing the bodybuilding thing for another 5-10 years. But stepping on stage, really, if I get my pro card, man, I'd be happy with that. Because I don't ever see me going anywhere winning shows at a pro level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm good enough to get my pro card. I'm right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, at the pro league, those guys are just so good. It would take a tremendous amount of finances. You guys know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
everything for me to even be remotely competitive with those guys.
Yeah.
We just saw Anthony's photo on my thing. He placed 10th.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And the guy looks phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I'm just got to be kind of realistic with myself. Like, would I be satisfied putting all my effort into this and getting spanked on stage? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So as long as I stay regional, I'll be doing it for a while. But if I go pro, I'd do a pro debut and just test the waters out and go from there.
Yeah, I like that answer. I like that, shooting for that pro guard. I think at the end of the day, we all got to look at the risk versus reward and if it's financially worth it, And so you're being smart. I'm in the same.
And then another thing is for me is I'm getting to the age where I really need to think about what can I do to retire myself down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would like to down the road maybe own my own business or do my own thing. And it's, I just want to retire at a certain age. I don't want to be 70 years old still working my ass off.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding's expensive. It's expensive, especially at this level when you're on the cusp of a national level, but you're not top national level. So we're not sponsored. Everything's coming out of our pockets. You know what I mean?
I spend thousands now.
Right. Last year I did North Americans and nationals, and I don't even want to sit down and add up what I spent on those two shows, but I imagine it's north of $5,000, $6,000. I don't know.
It's easy. Just supplements and just everything along the way. I don't know if you've got a coach, but I pay for just all that.
Yeah.
You don't charge on, but it's still, if you're paying over $1,000 a year just in that, everything else, things add up.
Oh yeah.
Those prep impulse buys too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was gonna tell Dan earlier when he was on. We did mention it briefly, but Dan, who just got a pro win in Classic, a week ago or so. Seeing him do that kind of gave me a little bit of a resurgence, because recently I'm 30. I just turned 38 in June, and was trying to assess what am I going to do, as far as how long I'm going to compete and how much finances do I want to put into this without a return. And anyways, long story short, you guys too, Cody, as well, we're like tweener guys. We compete in open, but I could drop 5 pounds easy and be in Classic, work on my posing, bring out my X-ray more. Anyways, long story short, I'm going to keep pursuing the super heavy thing, and I would love to get a pro card in the open bodybuilding. But anyway, seeing Dan, he's 43, so he's 5 years older than me. We've competed together, me and Dan, and just seeing him get that win kind of gave me, I should have told him this when he was on it, but I'll tell him it in person. It really gave me a confidence boost and a resurgence. Okay, there is a future out there for guys like us that want to keep competing, but aren't Mr. Olympia guys. You know what I mean? So that was cool to see. So I'm 38. Honestly, I'd see 45, 46 stop competing, but I'd also see getting into my 40s. It would probably be one show every year and a half or so. But I would definitely like to compete into my late to mid 40s. What about you, Chris?
Man, this is a really tough question. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. But I'm,
Mhm.
I'm turning 31 in November, and I honestly, like, coming up into this, I never planned on being like an actual bodybuilder. Like, I just like getting in shape, and I wanted to I thought I'd do well at classic. I didn't want to ever have to get bigger than that because I don't grow, like, putting on size is pretty tough for me. And then after kind of maxing out classic there and still not really having the look that I wanted, not being as filled out as I need to be super competitive. Now knowing I have to go to open or, as a heavyweight, a super heavy, and put all those size, I like, I don't know, it's not nearly as my body's not liking it. I'm not comfortable, and it's taken away for so many different aspects of my life. I'll always bodybuild, I'll always track, always, pack my meals, but I'm so all in this. Like, I've missed 2 meals in 3 years, including off season prep.
That's
like
badass.
I'm just like, I'm so OCD that, like, if I'm saying I'm competing this year, I'm like gonna fucking do it all in. But it's just taken away from so many aspects of my life with, like, professional life, making money. It's expensive as shit. So I don't know, man. This is tough. This is most likely gonna be my last year on stage. Maybe next year, but we're gonna have, like, plan on having a family and all that shit, and yeah, it's not gonna be fair to them.
Let me tell you,
How unavailable I'm.
I can already tell you're the kind of guy. You'll always be a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so yeah.
And honestly, I know my old mentor. He was like my father. He was a bodybuilder. He kind of quit competing in his mid-30s, and he was kind of done because he was more settling in on his life and trying to get financially stable, his family, the whole nine. He came back in his 40s because he had the itch to do it.
Yep.
And he just had fun with it, and he did great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a great thing because we're all bodybuilders. We're all going to be doing this the rest of our life because we enjoy it. Just because you're not on stage doesn't make you're not a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? You're still living
for sure.
life. So, and none of us realistically, what's the odds of one of us becoming a big time? You have to be a big dude to make money.
We would already know.
You would already,
Yeah, right.
So, you just got to keep yourself in check. Reality checks, like,
oh yeah,
how far I want to go down this rabbit hole. And I'm just like you, bro. I don't miss a meal every day. Everything's weighed out to the gram. I don't cheat. I mean, it's on point, and I work my ass off. But you play with the cards you're dealt, and the rest of it, the way I look at it, man, if I just bring my best package, and I have fun with it, you know what I mean? I don't anymore get too carried away with it. Like, when I'm going for a show, I go all out. But time I show, it's like me and Rob. We was backstage and we was kind of eyeballing each other. And Rob looked at me, bro. You know it's between me and you, right? I said, yeah, I know. And just have fun with it, man. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just have fun. That's what it's really about. And a lot of people forget that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy to, like, suck the fun out of prep and forget why you're actually fucking doing it in the first place.
Well,
Being so OCD about every little thing and freaking out over, like, some, just little shit in prep that just sends you, and you need to, it's hard to put things in perspective and actually realize why you're doing this in the first place and actually have fun.
Exactly.
No, I'm glad we brought that up, man. I think it's a good way to end the podcast, man. It's find balance, man. This bodybuilding thing can save your life. It can turn your life around, but it could also become very self-consuming and very addicting. I've gone through relationships, man, because of my obsession. You know what I mean? And some good ones too. So keep, everyone that's listening, just keep that in mind. Don't let yourself get too deep in your own goals. Think about your loved ones and make sure you show them the love that they deserve on a daily basis. But yeah, this is a good episode, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on. I think we're pushing 2 hours, but
sorry I showed up late.
No, dude, it's all good. That was a
Yeah,
nice
this was a
little
good one,
surprise
man.
at the end. Because
Yeah.
Dan, I think Chris dropped off, and then Dan dropped off, and then you showed up perfectly.
Worked out
Yeah.
good.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Later,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Nice to meet you, Cody.
See you later.